this is what's getting started, guys. We're getting into Blood Run in just a few short moments. I'm really curious about the champion picks, though, Ketchup, because I've got a feeling I think we definitely see it on map 2, but I'm wondering if Strong brings out the Scale Bearer.
You were talking about this before, and we'll see if that's going to be true. Looks like for now we're going with, in the warm-up, there's still time for this.
There's still time.
Not to steal your catchphrase there, mate, but we'll see if they go with one final change or if they're going to go with things a little bit more traditional, as Ron does have a couple of tricks up his sleeve on these smaller maps. But for now, it's Ranger and Galena.
All right, a bit of more normality. Galena, super important champion. Got such great utility. We're seeing a fight down at the lower light armor early on. It's a exchange 1-for-1 for the time being. Of course, we've got the power-up that will be spawning at the 1 minute and 30 seconds mark. So leading up to that, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of control the team's going to establish on the map.
Now, there's 2 Galenas, 1 each way. That does not surprise us at all. Blood Run really is kind of like a Galena playground. The teleporters being such a dangerous addition to moving around, and she can just shut it down with those totems. So a little bit of a back-and-forth fight right now. Myz CIS looking more than comfortable. Just gone 30 seconds in, and there's the traditional trap. Don't grab that one, base. That heavy belongs to me.
Especially with the newly enhanced lightning gun, the lift that you get from that weapon now is scary, and that is exactly the place where we expect plays like that to take place.
It's one of those changes, man. The LG kind of just getting the new ability to say, you know what? I've got a good read on this, and for that, I'm going to take away a frag happily. Now it's 5-1, Myz CIS with an early lead. Zron, unfortunately, the 2v1 forced base just in the right place at the right time, and now it's going to be traded back there as Claws gets a rail kill, looking to get one more.
Oh, he got slightly distracted by the Galena that dropped down. Isn't able to hit a shot on this occasion, but he is being given angles once again, and will at least be able to deliver another 90 damage. In 10 seconds' time, we're going to have the first power-up of the series. Claws and Zron are there first. They've got enemy coming in from the side. It's Base on the other side, Agent with the Galena, but they get 2v1'd. And Claws, is he going to be setting up the first? No, it looks like Zron, actually. He's got a little bit more armor, and probably there'll be some more confidence in order to survive going in. He drops down with the orb to get himself the mega health. Your teammate is there. He's got a quad. He may be needing that shortly.
I mean, I assume they must have just had so much confidence in Zron's ability to just delete before he's taking damage. Kind of like that, you know, Agent zigged when he should have zagged, looked to the left. In fact, he's to the right. Sorry about that one, mate. Zron gets 1 kill, but to be honest, a minimal power-up here. And that's typical on Blood Run, you know, running that circuit, evading, almost putting more pressure on Claws, having to be the one that chases them down. Agent's going to fall again 2 times in a row. Zron's going to be happy about that, as it's now sitting there 10-11-2.
Nice little midi that we get there. Yeah, this is a dominant start. Obviously, the power-up is just going to increase how dominant it looks. It's going to be really important for Cyberfight to not drop the ball on those power-ups later on. That's a lovely play from Zron, taking down another 2 over there. This is looking incredibly one-sided for the time being, but the day is early.
Yeah, it's looking incredibly one-sided for now. That 100 damage rocket with Claws finishing the job is going to be fantastic. Base gets 1, but that's not before Claws inches out. Yeah, another frag, and 15-3 at this stage. I don't even think he's going to care about losing that totem. This is pretty one-sided to start things off, Sue.
Agent is actually yet to get himself a frag. He's currently 0 for 8, so if he could just get himself on the board, that will help the confidence going in. Base has got 4 for the timing. Zron has got 12 frags in, so 12 of the 17. That's insane from him. Agent finally, he manages to pop the first frag, but Claw's still picking him off in the mutual.
It was wonderful timing there from Claude, understanding that, you know, a couple of guys are going to be down. That's going to give him some real estate to try and sort of take that heavy. Unfortunately, he's going to drop. But the important thing this late on, 19-6, even if you're instantly losing the pickup, at the end of the day, the opponent's not picking it up. You know, you're keeping them consistently behind. We're going to see protection soon. Claws gets 2 kills in a row, and this should allow them to set up shop just in time for this protection to spawn. I reckon Zron's going to be collecting this one.
I mean, what's weird with Cyberfight, they're not really isolating targets between them. They're going for one opponent and another, and then just as they get that guy low, they switch over to a different target. They need to be a bit more communicative when it comes to getting in those mid-fight situations. A bit of bravery from Cyberfight to get rid of that heavy armor while go against someone with the power-up. But I mean, overall, Zron, he's still going to finish off 1 more kill, and we're not far away from having 20 a difference.
It almost seems like, you know, how many times already have we seen those crazy surprise attacks, particularly in the middle? I mean, dare I say more? He's literally just hit 2 rails in a row on the exact read. I feel like Cyberfight are just being way too predictable with how they're running around the map as well. And what's worse is that they're consistently sticking together, which is just giving the guys on Maestro 2 for the price of 1 every time.
I think for the Maestro family, there's going to be a relief to see a scoreline like this for the time being, especially seeing how close it was. You know, credit to Cygib and Rick of how they perform against Myz CIS. But I think this is a little bit like, okay, these are the right tremors that we need to be feeling in order to see this us going into day 2 where top 8 is going to take place.
Well, with the great things going so far, looks like Maestro should be more than happily taking this game. Unfortunately, he's going to miss the rail, which is going to allow Base to get 1 frag, but plenty more work needs doing if they're going to have hope of bringing this one back. It has been one of the faster maps I think we've seen today for sure. The double team going into the teleporter, but getting rid of the totem's going to give their position away. Myz CIS now going to know exactly what they're working with, but the 2v1, excellent stuff. Zron just running into the wrong part of town there.
Drop down, nice LG from Base actually. Oh, looking for the flick rail. Base is one of the guys with super high sensitivity and acceleration, so his mouse movement can look absolutely incredible sometimes in the way he connects the shots, but it is about connecting, especially versus an aim-heavy team with Claws and Zron in there.
And that's just the unfortunate circumstances there. Asian's going to get taken out by Zron because it was a difficult position. Asian had to make a choice. Do I immediately go through the teleporter and eat a pummel, or do I then go and help Base? He had no choice but to wait, which is why it was constantly 2v1s. And here comes on the power-up. Looks like so far, Myz CIS, they've just had such an easy time taking control of these power-ups, and it just makes such horrendous situations for Cyberfight.
Oh, nasty rocket from Base on the way in, but Claws still has some ammunition, has some health, is able to push a little harder. Good to see Cyberfight pushing past the 10 frag limit. Sorry, 10 frag mark, but
we got there in the end.
I'd like to be saying something a bit more positive about them for now.
Yeah, I definitely expect things to be just a little bit closer, especially as, you know, we cannot forget that Agent and Base, they are 2 fantastic players, and with it being Blood Run, this is a map that they were born and bred on, especially Agent. But I don't know, this has been pretty rough so far. Claws winning this rail war, Agent jumping in the air, and Claws, that's just an easy frag, makes that 2. As Base is going to fall, they're going to be rewarded with the mega health, and it just feels like at no point have Cyberfight had a shred of control, and there's another one.
This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see from Claws. Him bringing some good shape to Dreamhack Winter. Time to get some practice. Plays like this that all of a sudden it's not just empowering him for the next few moments within the game, this is empowering him for the rest of the tournament. This is it. These rails are just fantastic. He's going to drop with the LG. Agent, I mean, his stack wasn't too bad, but the LG is just so powerful.
Claws really is the wonder boy himself. He has such an amazing knack of just jumping down into an LG where he himself is getting carried by it. Yet he still wins the fight. He knows how much damage he's taking, but he's so confident in his own accuracy. You cannot out-LG this guy. Doesn't matter who you are in the world. Base does manage to finally take out Zron, but a little bit early to be in this power-up room. They can't really set up too heavily.
Yeah, at this stage, Base and Agent are looking to make themselves feel as comfortable as possible moving into map number 2. It's a lot to ask for a comeback like this, almost 20 behind. You need huge mistakes to be made by Zron and Claws. They just don't appear to be making them.
He's going to get 1 direct rocket, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough. Agent, is he going to fall down again? Looks likely, yes. Claws is going to win this fight. And now, in typical fashion, here comes another power-up. Zron trying to keep himself alive. Can he win this 2v1? It's looking fantastic. Just looking for that 1 rail. Misses the flick shot, but still alive. And plenty of stack. Should still be able to win this fight. Just trying to run around. Gets a little bit of pummel damage, but that's not enough at all. Just like that, Myz CIS just looking better and better.
Zron, he's all about the rail. He looks so crisp with these angles most of the time. Looking for a nail gun jump up. Won't make it. This should be the protection wearing out. Yeah, there we go. Got 10 seconds until they're heavy, so surely we'll be focusing on this position for a little bit. But I mean, they're just ripping together these frags so fast. It's like, all right, let's just crack onto this momentum. Zron's chasing around Claws. It's like, okay, you just do it on your own. That's okay.
Just completely and utterly picking them apart so far. Just even things like here, like these situations, I feel like Agent must feel like they're so far behind, he has no choice but to take the risk. He has to try and take something away from CS, but Maestro positions so wonderfully that you're never in a position to take something unless they want you to think you can take it. And then they just destroy you on the location.
It's like, normally you got to look left and right before you cross the road. If you see the heavy up, there's usually a reason why it's not been taken yet. They're looking to wait and do damage on you, so they can't fall into this sort of these bait tactics. There we go, last frag taking place. That's going to be map 1 comfortably in favor of Myz CIS. This is the kind of shape that we need to see. They're starting to turn up.
Now, Zron, you can see the game faces all around from both Zron and Claws, but you can see he can't help but crack a little bit of a smile.
I wasn't expecting the smile so soon, actually. I feel a little bit warm inside seeing that.
I'm a little bit worried that maybe the smiles come too early.
Base, he's normally smiling anyway at all times. It doesn't matter what's going on. He's still going to be smiling, I feel like. But I think as Ron's going to be relieved a bit. Things were going not so well against Descent. Now, seeing that they're giving some good shape, it does feel like Claws and Ron are sticking together a lot more. And as, again, the Flea and Machiavelli talk about, is keeping Claws on a leash sometimes. We're going to get to see a couple of replays here in Map 1.
But we just saw there in the center of Blood Run that there's one of the big changes in this new patch that people are playing on. The LG's new ability to essentially keep you in the air more effectively than it could before. Like, yes, you were doing damage before, but it was more damage you were just using as currency as your cost for taking the heavy. Now that's been changed. If you try and take the heavy and they know you're going to do it, you're probably going to be dead. Yeah. And if it's someone like Claws or Ron, we can talk about their combat skills for days. If they're LGing you and you're stuck, you're probably dead, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then you haven't even got the heavy anyway.
I think we've got to talk about Ron for a little bit. This is someone whose results on LAN haven't been what we'd expect from him lately. He got top 8 at QuakeCon, which is good, but we probably expected more. Italy, he went down sort of 7th, 8th.
It's always at LAN with Ron. It's always earlier than he would like, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the running tale. There are so many expected results for him, and he's never able to quite reach that point. He doesn't place badly, but it's not as good as he wants to.
Only top 4 at Dreamhack Tour, and Sacrifice top 4 Dreamhack Winter last year. I mean, this is someone who I think all the time we say he's a top contender, but he needs to get a result, and I think this is the land where you're going to... It's not like you have to prove himself to other people, but I think he needs to prove it to himself that he's still capable of getting those top victories. Claws is world-class. Can they have that cohesion needed in order to get themselves to that top spot?
Actually, significantly different body language has been flipped on its head. It's actually now Myz CIS that are sort of looking a little bit looser, a couple of smiles all round, and it's the Cyberfight boys that look a little bit more serious than they did before. You know, I'd not say they weren't taking it seriously in the previous map, but I think they understand that if they lose this next map, they are out of this portion of the bracket.
They might have realized, oh, Myz CIS, they had a bad game to begin with, going, oh, we're going to take them down while they're weak, and then they see what happens. Oh, 50-20. Yeah, we need to do something else.
Now here comes Molten Falls. You kind of made the offhand statement before we started Blood Run that there's the potential for Zron to pick Scalebearer.
Yes.
Now, as we go onto the Molten Falls, do you think there's a chance he might do it again?
He's got a 100% win rate on Molten Falls.
I can see Scalebearer in the warm-up Zoot. As we're going into the Molten Falls, we might see a little bit of spice thrown into the mix.
100% win rate on this map with Scalebearer. We're going to be able to see it here. I'm super curious how they're going to get down to business. It looks like the game is starting right now.
I'd love to see as much of this Scalebearer as physically possible. This champion was adjusted a little bit, and he's so momentum heavy, and there's so many corridors you can catch people around the corner for as well. That this might be a pretty interesting match. Base is going to take a fantastic start there. First blood.
We got our boy.
Now this is what we want to see.
Yeah, he's just got a crazy passive. He can get a lot of damage running in because of how they reworked things on the last patch. Agent and Base, some good team play at the moment. Get themselves the first couple of frags. No response yet. Surely Claws is going to be able to take them down soon. Megas just spawned an Agent from having almost no health at all. He's alive and kicking. Claws takes totem damage. 4-0. Again, it's early, but this is a very, very good start for Agent and Base.
Just in case anyone watching the stream doesn't know what the adjustments were, Scalebearer used to be able to do damage by bumping into you, depending on how fast he was going. Now, he can still do damage by moving fast, but it is a set amount of damage. I believe it's 100, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And that means that if Scalebearer catches you around a corner, it's going to hurt big time.
It's not working yet, Ketchup.
It's not. It's currently 6-0, so we might actually see Zron change away if they are yet to get a single frag.
He's performed, wow, fantastic. With a piercing sight, 2 really good rails, still not dropping a death. They're controlling the items decently, and again, Zron is going to fall with the Scalebearer. I'll be really concerned if they do actually decide to stop using it, because he's done so well in practice. Ron, suddenly he gets the first 2 kills with the quad.
I mean, that's actually why he's picked Scalebearer. Just as we were about to say, is he going to swap away? He gets exactly why he picked the champion in the first place. But that is going to be a quad, and he's running around the second he kind of hits that percentage. If he's got quad damage, then oh boy, do not touch this guy.
And of course, for others who don't know, he's got a movement passive, which means he can turn corners incredibly quickly and keep momentum running along the floor. So keeping 500 plus UPS on Scalebearer isn't too bad.
No.
The bull rush, it's going to mess up. But that's all right. He gets control of the heavy. His stack is looking incredible right now, but he needs to get some value from this.
should be able to win this fight easily, doing so much damage unreturned. It's a 2v1, but he has still got a massive stack. There's the 2v1. Heavy champions, they have a place.
Perfect. He's got the rotation of the heavy coming up in 10 seconds time. Is he going to be able to get some pressure on here? So good damage with the rockets. Base eventually takes him down. Heavy spawning in a second. Claw's trying to do something about it. His damage is fantastic, but he's still 1 versus 2. The heavy's up. Everyone's left it because it's such a dangerous position, and Zron comes in to save the day and allow Claws to get the heavy right after and some help. He's back up to working status.
Yep, good stuff from Zron, making sure even though he himself was a little bit weak, he was sort of saving those health bubbles, allowing Claws to pick up the pieces. Now look at the stack he's working with. He's got piercing sight as well. With 30 seconds left to go, if he has some hourglasses, he might actually have some time to pop it now and potentially save it for the next power-up, have it ready again, but we'll see. That sounds like a bull rush to me.
Oh my God.
Oh, there was the LG, they're pushing back down, but unfortunately for Zron, the big play did not work out on Claws. Unable to hit a single rail.
That's really nice LG from base going up the bounce pad, actually. Fantastic jump from him. We get to see him on camera a little bit. We've got the power-up coming from 10 seconds time. His stack's good. Let's see if he can get some, again, value. Tri-bolt usage is decent. He needs to just run. Can't even get that health bubble because we've got the power-up spawning. He has a teammate there, but he gets pushed off a bit. Zron takes damage, but Claws is the one who has the protection. They're going to be looking at tying things up very soon. Might even be able to make it by the end of this power-up.
He's going to have to give up just a little bit of that time, I think, to wait for Mega, which is going to use valuable seconds of this protection. But the important thing is making sure Cyberfight doesn't have access to it. One of the rails is going to go down. Agent's going to pick up Zron. Claws isn't going to worry too much about the damage he's taking, and that's why the self-damage of the rocket comes through. He needs to get this kill. He needs it now. There comes the bull rush, turning him into paste. And Claws going in for the final 2v1. I'm a little bit worried about stack, though. But at this point, the protection's gone. It doesn't matter. They picked it up.
Yeah, it's absolutely gone. And good to see some momentum is being gathered from here. Look at the combo.
So good. So good.
Incredibly painful. And he's letting Claws just take the items, actually, allowing him to stack up, even though Scalebearer, I think, needs a lot of armor to really get the maximum from everything. But again, we're getting to see... I'm just happy that we're seeing base and Agent getting some good cohesion right from the beginning, get some good early frags. This should hopefully build them up a little bit. Rocket is trying to slow him down, but we've got the damage absorption as well from the Bull Rush. So Zron takes about 60% less damage when he's using Bull Rush.
And then you look at the stack that he has left after he's absorbed it, and that's enough for another fight. By 100%. Agent with the suicide actually might have been... seemed like an odd time to go for it, probably unintentional. But either way, Zron can't quite escape. His base is going to finish the job there. But the comeback from Myz CIS has been absolutely superb. They almost went 10 kills without getting a single frag. Oh my God, I'm never going to get tired of seeing those just round the corner bull rushes where you blink and you're dead.
Zron's actually in the lead on frags on the server at the moment with Scalebearer. He's doing a phenomenal job. Claws, though, he's on 3 for 10. Nice double kill from base. They're just keeping that lead. It was a lot bigger not that long ago, but dealing with Zron. Oh, we've got some mid-ace. He turns away, doesn't look at the explosion. And Mega Health has actually spawned at the moment. He eventually gets the rockets out. Another pop-up, but Zron takes it up. There's going to be Agent with a refrag. He's going to get himself onto quad now. Claws is trying to challenge a little bit. 1 HP, but the Mega Help spawns just in time. Agent, though, he needs to get over towards the heavy armor, and once he has that, he's going to have a few moments left to still get some effect from the quad damage. And Agent actually gives him a kill.
Agent's being incredibly patient here, which I really like. He's not trying to rush ahead. Yes, it's 2v1, but he's confident. Unfortunately, misses the rails, so he's going to leave it on the table. Claws should theoretically die here, of which he does. Not having an amazing game, but at the very least, the benefit he's going to have being Visor is that he'll be able to constantly feed information to Zron. Now, if you're constantly feeding information of what corridors people are sitting by, and your friend is a scale bearer, that's going to be vital knowledge. But Agent almost gets sent off the map, but not quite. What a rocket!
That return rocket was ridiculous. I got to give some props to base. He is 17 for 7. He's now in the lead on frags. Agent is doing well in his own right, 10 for 13, but it's Claws who needs to maybe crawl back. Maybe just Zron's taking all the frags away from him.
Maybe he's being a greedy boy. That's a very scale bearer thing to do, isn't it? To steal all the kills by like just running into people.
Oh, you're doing damage. Oh, here I come. Just wants that contact.
Crush them.
Heavy going to be up in a moment. Go for the 2 versus 1 on Agent. Agent survives. Claws, I think, left him behind a little bit later. I'm trying to see. I believe base ended up getting the heavy armor.
I'd be interested to see the current rail stats actually for Claws, to be honest, because I feel like in Blood Run, he just had the game of his life, as can happen in Claws land. But sometimes when he's missing a lot of those rails, you just automatically see, I guess, a lack of contribution in these fights, where he's going for the all-or-nothing weapon choices. Now, when he's hitting those shots, it's fine. If he's missing it, he's doing no damage. He may as well not be there.
We've really got to watch for Agent, because he's got such a huge stack going against this protection. He needs to hold on to as much of this health and armor, and it's already gone. And the protection has just spawned. It's going to end up going to base take it. Yeah, he did. It's left at the top of the bounce, at the teleporter exit. And now,
God, it's Scale Bearer with protection. This is pretty scary to deal with.
It's almost a shame he doesn't have the Bull Rush jab, so his damage result would just be insane then.
He may as well just take 0 damage at that point, but I'm loving the positioning here. I'm loving this sort of 1v1 of just constantly trying to keep him at arm's reach. The teleporter choice was absolutely fantastic.
Nice.
Zron, he's really struggled to get anything off this. He might just get 1 frag and that's it. Yeah, he's got Agent, but that's not a huge result, to be honest.
It could have been a bit more fortunate for him. Claws are starting to pick up kills over on the other side of the map. They're closing up that gap here on Molten Falls. 1 versus 1 going up Mega. Base is going to get it. He gets pushed off the map from the little mid-air.
Excellent stuff.
But it still counts as a frag now if you push someone off the map. As long as you do damage to them before they fall out, that's still a point over to your team.
It's a change I personally like quite a lot, actually.
Yes.
It's pretty frustrating, actually, used to deal with. Come on, man, that was mine.
But if you just jump off the map,
there it is again.
Random, and you take no damage, I mean, that's just you being silly. And
that's just a Rafa moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Rafa's Edge is on this map. It's called that for a reason.
However, who's going to win the fight? Oh, there's the combo from Claws. Base just unable to do anything with that missed rail. Like, he landed the rail, sure, but the downtime still secured his death. Claws finally landing the clutch shots. And now they find themselves only 2 kills behind. If this is the moment Claws finally wakes up, as I say, as he eats in midair, this is finally CIS's time to finally pull things back.
Oh, wow. I love the patience from Zron, waiting so he can get that perfect rocket. Knew the timing as well for the heavy, so wasn't too afraid. He misses the follow-up rocket. Base is going to be able to re-extend that lead, and that's something very important for them because they're so close. 35 to 33, and that's going to change in just a handful of seconds. Both Base, well, Agent actually gets that frag. Base suicides because we've got the quad spawn in just under 10 seconds. Wants to get a little bit of extra health. Now there's going to be a huge fight down here. Zron drops, there's going to rail on him. Quad, Agent doing a brilliant job with the railgun, but Claws still has health and armor to work with.
Yeah, this is very scary. Just fresh off picking up that Mega, now he's got the heavy as well. He's got plenty of ammo, he's got plenty of weapons, he's got the quad damage. Claws pretty much could not be more equipped to take this fight. They try and go towards the Mega, and even though it's been collected and stolen away, it's not beneficial because Agent just could not land the rails. Claws is not going to be deterred for taking these fights whatsoever. And just like that, they've been able to tie the knot. 36 each. Who cares about the totem at this point? I just want to get some kills before I'm done. Unfortunately, he can't.
Well, he's still got a bit of health and armor. He gets that 100 rocket, and then Zron has got rockets to follow up. Brilliant plays between the Ukrainian and the Belarusian. And Claws has woken up a lot. He's now actually on 14 frags. That's going to be his 15th. So it's good to see. It was just a temporary vacation from the early parts of the map.
It's kind of going to show, though, that when Claws isn't on, it displays a lot of problems for Myz CIS. But the important thing is that Claws is able to essentially wake up and snap out of it in the middle of the map. They're not conceding an entire map before they realize that changes have to be made. Really the hallmarks of world-class players. Agent just getting completely smothered, but he's able to somehow survive. Minimal health left, but Base finishes the job.
Strong, I think, was trying to get that passive working, but he just couldn't land the damage that he wanted to. They managed to get the frag onto Zron just before Mega Health is taken. We get a rail from Agent. Can he land a follow-up? He's looking for it. But unfortunately for him, he doesn't give away any further damage. He's also got triple stack totems, so his totems are going to start over-healing for plus 50. And
very important.
He's just picking up frag after frag after frag.
And it's a lot more coordination. It's a level of coordination that we didn't see in Blood Run. On Blood Run, they just got completely smothered.
Yeah.
It almost felt like they were never in the fight whatsoever, whereas on the flip side now, as we've gone into Molten Falls, their general communication, I think, they're more punctual. That's a big thing. They're more punctual on these points. And here comes the protection again. And it feels like because of Scale Bearer, every single power-up has actually gone in the favor of Myz CIS. And here's another protection. It's going to be Claws, who's probably going to use this to just go as fast as he can, just try and pile into some of these fights.
This Heavy just got taken by Zron, which is weird, because again, with your power-up carry, you usually want to stack him up, especially when this is a subpar health and armor. I mean, he could still die to Base and Agent. Brilliant rail. It gets the little rocket jump going.
2 rails at once.
That hurts a lot.
How
Where
often
did
do you
my
see that?
armor go?
One kill separates the two teams. This is incredibly close.
Nice 2 versus 1 there from Agent and Base. We've got Heavy in a second. Their timing looking exemplary for the moment. And that is, that's Ron at the top, having to leave them alone. Base is just going to go up, dealing with the pressure of the bull rush, getting another frag, one closer to getting to that elusive 50 mark.
That's just fantastic coordination, really. Claws are going to get taken out, and it's continuously 2v1. They're constantly staggering those respawns. Myz CIS unable to actually collect themselves and regroup.
Yeah, I mean, and I was just going to comment on the fact that below the champion portraits of Cyberfight, you can see that they're on low health. But all of a sudden, Base gets more. He's going to knock him out of the map. Get out. Get out the club, as 40 Lions would say. He's going to run into the scale bearers. Ron gets the damage he was looking for on this time, and it's still super, super close. You can go either way right now.
They're just getting pushed in, but Agent gets that defensive rocket. Ron's going to get turned away right there.
Nice.
Claws drops as well. One more kill. And Cyberfight, they're going to take this one. Full speed ahead. Here comes the pain train. Survives, but barely. But the thing is, they can't really push too hard. Look at how weak they are, though. If they die at the same time, it's almost going to be beneficial for them.
Yeah. Agent, he's trying to get to Mega. Claws is going to deny it from him. So that looks like Ron wants to stack up. Nope, he's going to leave it for Claws. It's still possible to come back. We've got 10 seconds into the quad. If Claws and Ron can stay alive, if they get quad, it's a huge moment for them.
Claws has to be very, very careful. Missing that rail could be costly. Agent forced into a bad position. Don't want to get hit by one more defensive rocket. Claws is way too weak to fight. And there it is. Wow. Cyberfight back alive in the fight suit.
You know what? After seeing a 50-20 on Blood Run, there was no way on earth I was expecting a comeback like that on Molten Falls. That was really, really well played. We've got Base, who's 30 bombing here on Molten Falls. Second on frags was Ron with 27. Still a good performance on Scalebearer, but he was talking to me about how he hadn't lost any practice matches with Scalebearer using on Molten Falls. So, well, you know, I don't want to cast any blame, but you know, if Claws was as active as he was in the second half of the game, where he's playing brilliantly, and he did that in the first half, I feel like we would have seen almost a repeat of Blood Run. Maybe not quite to the same extent, but...
Well, clearly, the Scalebearer had very little to do with the loss. I mean, on the contrary, Scalebearer was a huge part of why Ron was doing so well. And it's because this guy is a scientist of the game. He's so good at learning the mechanics. Whenever a change happens or a patch comes along and champions are adjusted, you know, there's a reason that Ron is one of the main guys that's kind of taken Scalebearer on board and has gone, okay, well, what's possible now? And what maps will complement that style? That's why you said we might have seen it on Blood Run. But on the flip side, Base, there's something about the way Base plays 2v2 that makes him one of, I think, the most consistent fraggers in the business. Like, how many 2v2 tournaments have we seen Base play in where he's almost always the top performer or very close to it?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like he was maybe absent at QuakeCon, but we saw him at Tour. He was brilliant. So he's
Tour was the tournament that changed the minds, didn't it?
I know in Duel at PGL, he also had a great performance there. And he's also a player that when you're watching him, when he starts connecting those shots, it looks so impressive because of his fast, his high sensitivity and Axel. It just looks incredible watching him perform.
So you said that you probably weren't expecting to see a comeback the way it happened on Molten Falls.
Wasn't.
What do you reckon of this last map? Do you think Cyberfight are going to pull this one out? I mean, the predictions across the board unanimously were pretty much Myz CIS have got this. But after how Molten Falls went, there's a little bit of doubt in my brain.
Well, Ruins was the first map that Myz CIS played versus Ascent, Cygib and Brick. And actually, that was a really, really close game. That was like maybe 2 to 3 frags maximum by the end of the map. And it was a long period of time that Ascent were actually in the lead during that map. I don't know what I can draw from that. They played it earlier, maybe a little bit weak. Maybe if Cyberfight are on form like they were in Molten Falls, and they can get an early advantage, that they can try just holding that. What I don't want to see, and actually from both teams, but especially Cyberfight, if they do get a lead and they start getting close to victory, don't suddenly start going passive. Honestly, you feel like we need to protect this lead and we need to stop going to items and we need to just hide. We've got players like Claws and Ron, especially Claws with his amazing movement. He'll rocket jump around the map to hunt you down. And if you don't have items and you think you can get back into control of 2 people who are super stacked and got all the weapons, it's not going to work like that.
Cyberfight had such a phenomenal job of working around the power up in the previous map as well. Like, how many times, pretty much the entire time on that previous map, we saw the control of the power-ups held by Maestro, and it didn't phase Cyberfight at all. I'm wondering if they can pull this one off again as we go into our final map, the Ruins of Sarnath, Myz CIS, and Cyberfight. One team is moving on here, Zoot.
There we go. We'll get the last couple of seconds of warm-up and catch them right off the spawn. It does look like from the top of the board we're going to get a Visor Galena mirror match. We are on Zron off the start. He baits away some shots from the Mega Health. Does eventually pick it up and escape with his life intact. He probably just wants to get himself a couple of weapons, but if Claws is going to be getting engaged upon, he needs to be there to support.
Well, if Claws is going to spawn near one room, he's probably going to want to spawn near LG on this map. It's pretty much, you can't ask for a better early Christmas straight off the spawn, but no kills given just yet. I think they're going to try and establish a little bit of control towards this heavy, get some information. With the fact that this is the last map too, this can sort of alter some of the decision making, right? I feel like the Myz CIS boys super well equipped for this fight. However, not having a rocket is going to be a matter of instant hit scan versus not, of which the rockets are going to work. But no, it's 1-for-1. Rails versus rockets so far.
And Base should have been able to, I think Base did pack that up. He's coming back to the LG spawn. He's going to hunt down Claws. So I know Claws, he loves the LG. He's going to go there as often as possible to pick up the weapon, especially off the spawn. So being able to get refrag there is going to be essential for Cyberfight. Mega Health coming back up. This is the next hot spot on the map. That's going to be taken by Cyberfight. And as we, guys, as we talk about these items, it's very important that you can start to get some momentum with the control of heavy armor just here and the Mega Health where the players just came from. If you can get these a lot of times in a row, it makes a huge difference in terms of that overall health and armor you'll have throughout the game. And Base and Agent is getting exchanged a lot, but looks like they're contesting really well on items. But Base dies. There's Agent trying to come back for some help, and then Zron, he's going to pick up the remains, which is a quad damage. One of the best items you're going to be able to get off someone's corpse.
Yeah, that was a pretty unfortunate situation for Zron at the beginning, where it kind of missed 3 rails in a row. That's definitely one of the more frustrating ways to go down, where you could have sworn those 3 rails should have landed, but I think immediately spawning, recovering, getting this quad damage. That said, Cyberfight, as I said before, they have an amazing knack of being able to outrun this power-up. I think it's their general communication. They split up too. They're really forcing you to go for one target at a time. And just look, Zron can't catch him. He knows exactly where he is, but he just can't get the money angle he's looking for. And he can't even get the kill there. That's so unfortunate. Oh no!
It's up and down, up and down.
Trampoline, boys!
Oh, the rail? How did he react to that? That was insane. Agent comes up and punishes him in the end, but he didn't want to take that extra 90 damage.
That was such a weird fight. Oh my god, what a rocket.
Is that Base behind? Oh no, I think it was a totem at the staircase. So, okay, Zron and Claws got themselves a couple of frags leading into picking up the power-up, but you pointed out quite rightly, Agent and Base usually incredibly good at being evasive around the map. I think we saw Agent hiding at the upper yellow armor, and they just it didn't cross their mind to go and check that area. Nice work, Agent. LG to follow up. There's going to be Mega in a second. Agent is someone who you'd expect to have perfect item timing throughout the game. He's been known for that when playing in Duel. That he'll time things seamlessly for 10, 20 plus minutes at a time. And you'd expect him for sure to do that over here.
Claws just casually getting a pummel kill in the kill feed here. And this is super close. This is it right now. Zron's going to be trying to sort of land an extra target. Gets the rail, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to do a little bit of damage, which forces them slightly behind. But Zron himself too weak to take the fight. Agent, I think, stepping up his own rail game. Even looking back on Blood Run, where I felt like Agent was having a really hard time hitting his shots. And over the course of these maps, that's been changing as well, where right now he's looking super, super solid. It's now going to be a 1v1 versus Claws. What a very hard task. Oh!
Here comes the power-up. Base going to get refragged by Zron in the end. That should be protection, but it looks like Zron's only on about a few points of health. So if we can head over towards the protection carrier, there we are. Zron's got it. He's picked up the heavy armor. He's got some health, probably from a totem that was used lately, and now starting to get some kills with the power-up, which he was unable to really do on the quad.
Now, protection, I think going in Zron's hands was also a good choice. This is that sort of like running rings around them game, but Agent unable to survive this time as Zron makes the perfect read on his movement. 2 pummel hits in a row.
He ran out of rockets, so it's like, oh, I guess this will do.
It's all I have left.
We're going to drop down with the nail gun, looking to get that 2v1. Claws is there to support him. Base does refrag. Did they? Oh, they did take down Agent in the end. Okay, phew.
I feel like they also sort of reached there a little bit too late. CIS only slightly in the lead so far, but...
Oh my god. We've got to keep following Zron as well, because the amount of weapons he has, the stack that he's just been wielding, he should be getting... Sure, he's lost loads of armor and the overstack health, but he's got to get on a bit of a run. Heavy up in 10 seconds. He does eventually go down. It's a 2-for-1 favoring Cyberfight.
It was a really good choice, though, by Cyberfight to sort of convert near that heavy armor, because he knows we were literally just talking about Zron's stack and how he was going to use that to try and get like some momentum going, you know? And if the #1 thing on the agenda is going to be another heavy armor, they made the perfect call to just ambush him there, delete him instantly.
double rail.
Oh my god. The return rocket's going to be good there.
The unfortunate thing about Agent is his LG's never really, I think, measured versus versus the other pros in the scene. His rail's great, his rockets are phenomenal. Like, it's that LG. I want to see him really make use of those other weapons because you're just so much better with them, in my opinion.
Speaking of which, Agent does actually finally get an LG kill there on Claws. So that's going to be a good start, but Zron has to be so careful about when he takes that shot. I actually like the patience to sit back. It's not going to work out eventually, but taking that little bit of extra time to try and get some damage on the board. That said, Cyberfight, they're finally in a great position, and here comes the quad damage. Very weak indeed, though. It's risky to sort of put yourself in their line of sight when you've only got 10 HP.
It's terrifying. This Mega Health doesn't spawn for years. He's just got to not die. His teammate's got nothing. He does hit the rail, but it's about survival. It's not about being greedy for frags at the moment. Just don't give it away to your opponents. So if he can just not do that, then I'd call it a successful run, honestly.
Yep, he can tank a rail now, so he can sort of be a little bit more brash trying to get out there and look for a rail angle, maybe to get one last kill. But he's going to be able to at least establish so much threat that he can take the Mega. Unfortunately, Agent's sort of forced a little bit alone base. Understanding he can't take the 2v1, so he's going to disconnect from that fight. Very, very good choice. And now he can fall back on the heavy. Can he get the good rocket damage? No, he can't. Zron finishes it off, and now he gets the heavy instead. Oh, it's Claws. Good stuff. Nice patience there.
Small advantage between the two teams. I say small, it's only got smaller. Claw's going to run to a fight with Agent. Again, some good rockets from him. He's trying to avoid that last rail shot that he's expecting, but Claw's is going to keep getting some output on that damage. Zron manages to find Agent on the teleporter exit as they re-extend that lead a little further.
See base pick up one, that starting shot. It really is always that sort of like eternal sort of question of which starting weapon do you go for, and I think it can be so champion dependent, so map dependent. On Ruins of Sarnath, there are so many positions where, you know, let's say you spawn on the heavy, you're going to be a lot more dangerous with a starting shotgun than a starting machine gun, so, you know, a lot of different things to factor in when you're trying to decide which one to take.
From a distance over there, still picking up the remains. Mega Health looks like it's going to be taken by Cyberfight. I wonder if they're going to attack the heavy armor after, because it would mean they have to re-engage then onto the power-up that spawns in 10 seconds. But it looks like it's shared among both teams, both of the major items. And now the next fights over the next 10 seconds, this is where we probably see who goes into the lead for the second half of this map.
My fear is that potentially that missed rail might have given them a little bit of extra health, but Claw's finally able to force them away. The protection's going to be his, and he has enough stack to be dangerous now. He's been able to collect some of that health. Looking very, very strong indeed, and they have a slight lead. Claws has to be super careful here. Strong's going to pick up the 1 versus 1, which should make Claws theoretically pretty dangerous here. Again, just missing these rails shouldn't be an issue because he's got the protection to fall back on, thankfully. But yeah, Claws kind of looking a little bit weird sometimes in some of these fights.
He's going for the rocket jumps though, which I like. Well, I'm a fan of that.
I think we're all fans of that.
Yeah.
100%.
It's even better when he doesn't miss them, but you know.
That's right. It's the effort that counts. At least you tried.
Well, we've seen one of the larger leads right now that we've had this entire game, but it's starting to shrink again as Agent at base are picking up a little bit more momentum themselves. They get themselves onto the heavy now, which is really, really good. It's absolutely essential that they manage to keep control of the heavy armor. I just think they won't get as many benefits from controlling Mega Health, which they were doing, but they will end up losing frag, so that heavy, that is going to be one of the biggest contested zones for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think that's the reason we're seeing the majority of the actual sort of, you know, I guess group fight scenarios where it's all 4 players in that base. It's almost entirely there. And here comes a little bit of a spree. Last 4 or 5 kills have gone to Cyberfight and have not been contested, really. 40 seconds away for the quad damage, so plenty of time to try and set up and get more of this control, of which Heavy really has been in Cyberfight's favor for the past couple of rotations, which is useful for them. Agent should be able to take out Zron here, but doesn't want to be too overextended. Claws deleted too.
That's the LG. That's what we're starting to want to see from Agent. And God, bear in mind, Ketchup, we're so close to determining who's going to be one of the first. Who's going to be across the line into tomorrow's games winner brackets qualifier.
I mean, this is definitely one way to go about it, isn't it? Only 1 kill separating the teams. Agent a little bit too far away to make his rockets impactful. The amount of LG he was taking before he even did 80 damage was pretty severe. Wonderful rail. Needs a little bit more where that came from, and it's quad damage.
What? Base is going to be able to get it as well. We're about to hit the 10-minute mark in a moment. We haven't got the major items up for a while. Again, it's about survival. If someone comes at you, retaliate. That's perfect. I think there might be Agent getting pushed upon in a second. He found a rail shot. Base lands it. Who's been great with that. Moving in now with the LG. I don't think they know how weak he is, but he's still going to hit the rails.
absolutely did not matter. And he's got the Galena totem to make him healthy too. Piercing sight, easy shots, Ron. Bad spawn for you. Claws, wrong part of town there, my friend. And it's Cyberfight looking absolutely fantastic. And the heavy armor, this is dangerous.
And you can see that's something that Myz CIS just not excelling in the same way as Cyberfight. They're not avoiding the quad carrier in at all the same way. They've got an enormous stack right now. They can now go and rush down the mega health, and they can build themselves a huge advantage. And they're hitting so many important shots. Base is popping off at the moment.
Base is, at this point, outrailing Claws. That's what it's currently looking like to me. What is going on? Base.
He needs to get to Heavy. He needs to get to Heavy right now. He's got a teammate there on his own. He's about to get sandwiched. Zron is going to take him down. Heavy is going to get consumed. Base with a small misstep, I think, not having a sense of urgency in order to go for that item.
There were some movement errors there too, especially near the eye, where he could have theoretically moved a little bit faster, but he was getting caught on the train a little bit. That microseconds that he wasted was enough to allow Agent to die in that 2v1. Crazy how at the highest level, how punishing Quake can be.
Well, we've still got a couple more power-ups left to determine who is going to be getting over to day 2. Winner bracket seeding, it's such a valuable position. He takes so much rocket damage, doesn't quite see that in time. The reactions of the mouse movement from Base are unbelievable, but we're starting to see Maestro coming back a bit. Only 3 frags of difference.
And that was an amazing choice to go straight there for the rocket, knowing that if Base is going to spawn, getting a good prediction on where he's going to appear. If he appears, he has to take rocket. If I can beat him there, it's an easy kill. And this is the perfect time to set up your defense as this protection spawns. Base is going to drop. Zron is so healthy. He is going to be near impossible to kill in this 1v1. I like the fact that he's doubling back. He needs this heavy. And now he's basically unkillable. He can just go in with Claws and do whatever he wants. But they picked off Claws separately. A wonderful result for Cyberfight.
And now, okay, he's going to try and hunt down one. He's taken rockets from the sidelines. He's still got about 10 seconds left of this power-up. Base, there's nothing he can really do there in J-Spot.
I mean, that was almost essentially a 1-for-1. They were able to sort of pick off Claws by himself. Zron is going to get some rails here, so he should be healthy enough to at least take one more down in this fight. And here comes Claws up behind. The perfect pincer, 2 versus 1, and it's going to be another 2 versus 1 as they chase down towards Heavy.
Yeah, but Agent, he's just picked up the Heavy. It's good damage from Zron, but now he's incredibly weak. And you can see that the health and armor under the character portrait, it's narrowly in favor of Cyberfight for the time being.
This is so tense, This is absolutely insane. It's in Cyberfight's favor, but that's barely a lead. Oh, Zron's gonna fall, so 10 kills left, and Cyberfight will move on. Claws now available. Very dangerous. Watch out for that piercing sight, mate. Oh, Agent drops.
Stack just wasn't good enough there. He needs to hit a few more of these rails. He's right below. They've managed to 2 versus 1. Zron and Claws is only on 11 HP. They've just taken the heavy armor. They can rotate over towards the Mega relatively soon. It's up in about 15 seconds. Claws, I mean, he was a dead man walking. Actually, this comeback, and now that he's starting to get kills again without having lost his life, that's also huge.
He was able to stack back up, which is also very, very important here. I do feel like this core damage is going to by far be the final power-up, I think. Looking at the kills that are left, Zron picks up Agent, but they're consistently trading, 1 for 1 each time. Claws look like he should take the fight because Zron comes in just at the nick of time. Agent's got to be super careful. Has to try and, I think, sort of recollect here with Base. But look at the constant 2v1s that are going on. They just cannot collect themselves.
Where's Base? Base is over at the Rockets. He wasn't doing anything, and he's now got piercing sight. Claws is going to miss a rail. Takes a bit down, but does get a frag onto Zron. It's 43 to 43. Claws is going to get one back. Is he looking for another? Quad spawning in a second. The Tribal, though, is doing so much damage. Oh, Zron, he's going to get the rail. Quad still up, but it looks like Base is there to take it. And he just ledge grabs so that he doesn't take that extra damage. We're 45 for 45 here with just over a minute to go.
He's had to waste a little bit of time to retreat back towards that totem. 5 kills left. There's the starter shotgun again. Just doing its daily dues with the quad. And there's Zron going in for a bad jump pad. Are we going to see Cyberfight take this match soon?
They've got to keep calm right now. There's less than a minute to go, but this is what I was talking about at the beginning. Do not go passive. Do not drop that control. They've had so much experience lately. He's got to get through a teleport and support his teammate. There's one right next to him. They take down Zron. There's Claws on the sideline. Claws is going to land the rail and keep it close. And he's going to hit another piercing sight. Can he pick up the frag before he loses it? Not quite.
He still has a few more times to land that rail, but he himself is railable. He's got to be so careful. Zron picks up Base. It's going to be 47 to 48. This is ridiculously close.
25 seconds to go. What is the plan from Cyberfight? They're playing together. They're at eyeball for the moment. 15 seconds to go.
Myz CIS, I would say they were separated, but not until we saw Zron go down. Claude jumping down in the base. That's unfortunate because they've been separated.
But now they're going to run away. They've got to avoid getting fragged twice. They could be going through on the winner bracket. 2 seconds, 1 second. It's Cyberfight.
That is going to be the result for Cyberfight, and that pop-off is well-deserved. Base and Agent respectively, winning it by a timeout. That was a ridiculous series.
Oh my god, man. My heart's going. Can't imagine how those guys feel. And when we saw at the beginning of this series, we saw Blood Run, we're going to be like, I'll catch up. It's going to be a quick game.
How do you lose a map that one-sidedly and then just turn it like that? Only at this level.
Is this like maximum hustle going on? Like, I'm not even sure. That is an exemplary performance by the guys. Base is also 30 bombed again. He got 32. Zron, he 30 bombed as